Good morning, dear students. This is Dr. Ankit Kumar Singh. I am currently working as an assistant professor at MIT School of Communication, MIT University, Rajasthan. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the concept of news and news values. Yes, you have heard it right. News that you read in newspapers, news that you watch on television, news that you hear on radio, and news that in today's time you also come across through digital platforms and websites. So let us start the ball rolling. What is news? There is an old definition of news that says that news is any information that comes our way from different directions. So here news stands for north, east, west, south. Information coming to us from various directions. Another definition of news says that what is new is news. But here we have to take into account one fact that, of course, news is a type of information, but all types of information are not news. So, how we are going to distinguish a simple piece of information from news? So here comes into picture the concept of news values. So what are news values? News values are parameters or yardsticks using which we decide whether a piece of information can be dubbed news or not. So let us take a look at some of the important news values. So first important news value is unusual. Unusual means something which is different. Routine information does not become news. But when something is unusual, when something is extraordinary, it becomes newsworthy. For instance, there is a very hilarious example that is often cited in journalism schools is that when a dog bites a man, it is no news, but when a man bites a dog, it is news. Why is it so? Because when a dog bites a man, it is the nature of a dog to bite a man. So when a dog bites a man, no newspaper is going to report it. No television channel is going to have a show on it because it is something which everyone expects. But nobody expects a man to bite a dog. So in case a man ends up biting a dog, then it will become a huge news story because it is not the nature of a man to bite a dog. So it is something which is unusual. And whenever we come across an unusual piece of information, it will become news. Another news value is timeliness or currency. News has to be timely and new. It will not arouse interest if it is already known or brought to notice after its occurrence. In today's time, especially in today's time when digital media has become the dominant media platform, the lifespan of a news story is very limited. A story may trend in the morning, but by the time evening comes, people may have already forgotten it and they will start talking about another uh, story. So, something which is new, something which has just happened, something which is immediate is news. Another news value is proximity. Proximity, in simple terms, means nearness. So people are always interested in knowing about what happens in their village, town, or even country at uh, macro level. So, for instance, one example we can take to understand this concept of proximity. Suppose there is a newspaper which is published from Aligarh. So on a particular day, a road accident happens in Aligarh, and on the same day, a road accident also takes place in, let us say, Pune. So, but the following day, when the newspaper is published, the people of Aligarh will find that this the road accident that happened in Aligarh would be given prominence. Of course, because why does it happen so? Because people from Aligarh would be interested in knowing in about what happened in the road accident in their city. Of course, they may also want to know what happened in the road accident in Pune, but they would be more interested in knowing about the details of the road accident that happened in their vicinity. Then another news value is prominence. Prominent people means people who have certain stature in society. They make news. For instance, recently, the great Indian cricketer, Master Blaster Sachin Tendulkar visited Taj Mahal, and it became news. It was in news in all the newspapers, and it was covered by all television channels. Now, every day, thousands of people visit Agra and Taj Mahal, but we don't read about them. But when Tendulkar visits, it becomes news because Tendulkar has certain prominence in society. Similarly, if a Bollywood star or a prominent politicians, when they visit a particular place, it also becomes news. And even we people also want to know about what is happening in their personal lives. So prominent people always make news. Then conflict is another significant news value. Conflict, wherever there is conflict, there will be possibility of news. For instance, right now protests are underway, the farmers are protesting, uh, uh, and it is in news all over, in all the newspapers, in all the television channels. Similarly, every day you read in newspaper as well as watch on television news reports about the Israel Palestine conflict as well as the Russia Ukraine war. So wherever you find conflict, we will have the possibility of reporting about it. Then another news value is human interest. People are always interested in knowing about what is happening in other people's life. They also want to know about stories of tragedy, and also the stories of people overcoming odds. For instance, a story of a son of a rickshaw puller becoming an IAS officer. It will definitely garner huge attention in media. So, human interest is also a very important news value. So, these were some of the important news values which we take into account to distinguish news from other types of information. So in today's lecture, we discussed two important topics. We talked about the definition and concept of news, and we also talked about the parameters which we use to determine whether a piece of information can be considered news or not. Thank you.